Through the first 180 games this season, there have been 467 home runs. Getty Images It was cold, 46 degrees at first pitch and chillier as the night progressed. It was damp, beginning with a 25-minute delay at the start due to rain. It was Citi Field, nobody's idea of a launching pad. It was early April, the 9th to be exact. One of the two starters was deGrom. Since opening in 2009, Citi Field has hosted 826 games, regular and postseason. What if I told you this game, the cold, wet deGrom start, would produce a record 10 homers for this stadium and that 6 would come from a Twins team playing without its main power force, Nelson Cruz, in a DH-less NL Park game? If you knew it was 2019, then sure, why not? The weather, the pitcher, almost nothing matters because the ball is flying again. In April, an NL executive said, "We are seeing stuff that is supposed to happen in August when it is 100 degrees. What the hell is going to happen when it is August and 100 degrees?" The homers are part of a grouping with strikeouts, walks and hit by pitches that the commissioner's office has been obsessed with lessening to get more action within the field of play and on the bases to quicken the overall pace. So far in 2019, MLB is seeing its nightmare worsen. In 2018, those four types of plays represented a record 34.8% of plate appearances. It was 37% in 2019 through Wednesday. The sport is on a per-game record pace for homers, strikeouts and hit by pitch, and walks are at a two-decade high. Through the first 180 games this season, there have been 467 home runs. That projects to 6,318 for the season. The record is 6,105, set in 2017. What has been lost? Essentially action plays that involve multiple players coordinating and base-to-base action. In the history of the modern game, since 1900, 2019 is on pace for the lowest per-game rate ever for triples, sacrifice bunts, and double plays, and the lowest for steals since 1958. It is tough to make too many conclusions after 11 games at the beginning of the season, said Pat Courtney, MLB's chief communications officer. Agreed. But the trend lines suggest this is not just a two-week hint. This would, for example, be the 14th year in a row strikeouts were up, the 4th year in a row for hit by pitch, and if this continues, 4 of the 5 highest homer totals will have come from 2016 to 19, you know, the post-steroid era. And, of course, MLB is trying to address this style, worried that a next generation of fans blessed with more entertainment alternatives and shorter attention spans are not going to be as devoted to the sport as previous generations. The good news for MLB was attendance was up 4% over the first week last year, though weather was generally crowd-deflating atrocious early last season. Bad news, average time of game is up also, to 3:05, 5 minutes longer than last year. MLB, which limited mound visits last year to 6, has it at 5 this season, and between innings breaks are shorter. Next season the plan is that all relievers will have to face at least 3 batters unless it is to finish an inning. But there is a central problem that is much harder to address. 30 teams are devising ways to win with little care about the entertainment value. Throwing hard and swinging hard with the concept of getting the ball in the air have proven of great value, triggering a vicious cycle of homers, strikeouts, walks and hit by pitch. In its most basic form, velocity is hard to hit. So teams load their staffs with hard throwers. They ask starters for shorter full throttle starts and parade 197 mph plus reliever after another. Number of relievers used per game is up for a 6th straight year. Combine that with shifts and the ability to string together hits becomes harder and harder. MLB batting average is .244, tied for the lowest since 1972, the year that convinced the All to adopt the DH the following season. If you can't string together hits, then the only guaranteed way to produce a run is by hitting the ball out of the park. So many players learned a launch swing to try to get the ball in the air. The velocity and that swing technique are going to lead to plenty of homers and strikeouts. One of the counters has been to throw more breaking balls than ever to get under the launch swing, and we live in an age when measuring and improving spin rate is possible. That equals more strikeouts but also more walks because the breaking ball is not designed to land in the strike zone. Walks also go up when velocity is emphasized over command. That also leads to more hit by pitch, as does the greater need to work up and in to defeat the launch angle swing. Therein you see the formula that is leading to a steady march toward nearly 4 in every 10 plate appearances ending in a homer, strikeout, walk or hit by pitch. A quirkier game is also forged. Batting average is historically low, but run scoring is the highest since 2007, thanks to homers. If you flip from game to game on a near-nightly basis, you will see extremes. Starters flirt with no-hitters and games that feel more like home run derby previews, all born from the same throw hard, swing hard route. MLB is planning on testing a variety of potential counters in the Independent Atlantic League over the next 2 years, such as lowering the mound or even moving it back from 60 feet, 6 inches. The plan next year is that when rosters expand to 26 is to limit the number of pitchers to 13. But some executives are pushing to go even further and drop it to 12 or 11 or maybe even 10. The hope would be that fewer pitchers available would force a return to the starter who can navigate a lineup more than 2 times, which would mean not throwing full velocity at all times to better endure more innings. There also would be fewer relievers available to tag team a game. But good luck to getting consensus. A small market team such as the Rays would strongly oppose because it has found one way to compete with the Yankees and Red Sox is by deploying a deep mix of lefty and righty hard throwers. And about half the Players Association membership is pitchers, so you can imagine that voting bloc against lost jobs. As another NL executive said, there are no easy answers. We have a game now in which the stuff of pitchers is so good, reaction time so little, margin for error so small, for the hitters. But hitters are bigger and stronger than ever and producing more powerful swings with technology helping them to perfect that swing. That can explain the homers, fast pitch, forceful swing. And yet unleash the conspiracy theories, the strongest of which is that the ball is juiced, a feeling that has permeated the game the last few years. MLB officials swear there has been no order to change the specs on baseballs. But they will privately acknowledge that its internal testing shows less average drag on the baseball than last year. Less drag equates to greater carry. This just may be that with a handmade object that ball to ball and season to season the average drag may change. But whatever is going on does not feel natural to those involved in the game. They often cite homer distance, up 3 feet on average compared to last March-April, and opposite field launches, up nearly 3% from last March-April. Of course, that just forces more pitches out of the strike zone due to fear of the homer and to further counter the launch angle phenomenon. That just produced a greater continuation of the vicious cycle with strikeouts, walks and hit by pitches. You have a conversation GM to GM and the juiced ball comes up at some point, one GM said. The number of opposite field homers is crazy. Everyone throws 98 mph. The ball is going to fly around. Is this what we want as a sport? Is this good? We have a sport now where fly balls go up to the opposite field that never come out of the sky.